Okay, so we're going to go through difference of squares here. The name of this, difference of squares, it's a special type of factoring. Now, technically, you can put this into the quadratic formula and try to factor it. Well, this specific one I did, you can't because it's a little more complex, but if there was no y value here, we technically could go through it. Difference means subtraction. So we need to have two values in a difference of squares. So there are two terms. We talked about how a negative or a positive, so plus or minus sign, separate terms. So we have two terms. Has to be a subtraction sign for this very special method to work. And you have to be able to find a square root, or you have to be able to use a square root that ends up in like a whole number for the first and the second term. So is there a square root to 49? Do you know? We can put it in the calculator and find out. And is there a square root to 81? Those are going to be our two questions. So square root to 49. Let me see. Whenever I'm unsure, I can always just start multiplying values by each other. So 5 times 5, do you know what that is?
25.
Yeah, what about 6 by 6?
39.
36.
36.
Close, that's all right. 7 by 7.
49.
Yes. Okay, in other words, the root of 49
Is
7. That checks out. Can I find the square root of x squared?
it's
Yeah, it's x. Great. So the first value checks out. I can find the square root of 49 and I can find the square root of x squared. What about the next one?
it's 9.
Yes, perfect. The root of 81 is 9. And what's the root of y to the power of 4?
Y squared.
Perfect. Y squared. Good. So those both check out. So now we can use this very specialized factoring method. So this factoring method, let's go back to black here. We found the square root. So actually, let's set up the format. There's going to be two sets of brackets, and the first term in each bracket is going to be the square roots of the first term, and the second term in each bracket is going to be the square roots of the second term. And within each bracket, there's going to be a plus and a subtraction sign separating. Doesn't matter which comes first. It's all going to be the same. So we already established this. 49, the square root of 49 is 7, and the square root of x squared is x. So we have 7x and 7x. We've already filled out the first two. Square root of 81 is 9, and the square root of y to the power 4 is y squared. So 9y and 9y squared. And that's it. That's a really quick way. You just have to recognize that it's a difference of squares. And once you realize this, then you can very quickly go through your roots on the side and put it into this format at the very end. Okay?